Right, we're going to try something a bit different this evening. We're going to take you back to the 1960s, the golden age of satire. And it really all started with the old music halls, and then of course in the 50s you had the Goons and Around the Horn. And in 1967 there was a television show called At Last, the 1948 Show. And they did a sketch. It was written and performed by John Cleese, Graham Chapman, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Marty Feldman. And it was called The Good Old Days, but it became known as the Four Yorkshiremen. And it's been performed all over the world because it's about four elderly gentlemen who were sitting around. They've done well for themselves and they're reminiscing on their youth. And they're trying to outdo each other. That's what it's all about. And of course, every culture and country has elderly gentlemen sitting around reminiscing on how different things are now compared to when they were young.
Thank God for that.
So, for one night only, the open mic, the Dance Centre open mic, are going to perform for you the Three Yorkshiremen and a Brummie.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers.
Very passable, this, eh? Very passable.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a good glass of Chateau de Chasselet, eh, Josiah?
You're right there, Blue Dyer.
Who would have thought 30 years ago we'd all be sitting here drinking Chateau de Chasselet, eh?
Aye. Them days we were glad to price a cup of tea.
Aye, a cup of cold tea.
Well, any milk?
Or sugar.
Or tea.
In a cracked cup and all.
Oh, we never used to have a cup. We used to have to drink out of a rolled up newspaper.
Best we could manage was to suck on a piece of damp cloth.
But you know, we was happy in those days,
Yeah.
although we was poor.
Because we were poor.
Aye, my old dad used to say to me, money doesn't bring you happiness, son.
And he were right.
I was happier then and I had nothing. We used to live in a tiny old tumble-down house with a big old roof.
House? You were lucky to live in an house. We used to live in a one room on the 4th floor. All 26 of us. No furniture, our floor was missing, and all was added together in one... Sorry, and we all huddled together in one corner for fear of falling through.
You were lucky to have a room. We used to live in Tick Corridor.
Oh, how we dreamed of living in corridor. Would have been palace to us. We used to live in an old water tank on a rubbish tip. We got woke up every morning by having a load of rotting fish dumped all over us, all over our house. So,
Well, when I say house, it was just an all-in ground covered by a sheet of tarpaulin, but it was house to us.
We were evicted, but our hole in the ground, but we had to go and live in a lake.
Oh, you was lucky to have a lake. There was 15 of us living in cardboard box in Middle Road.
cardboard box?
Aye.
You were lucky. We lived for 3 months in newspaper-lined septic tank. We used to have to get up every morning at 6 o'clock, clean out the newspaper, go to work down the mill 14 hours a day, week in, week out, for 6 pence a week. And when we got home, our dad would thrash us to sleep with his belt.
Cool, that's luxury, that. We used to have to get out to the lake at 3 o'clock in the morning, clean the lake, eat a handful of gravel, work 24 hours down the pit for 2 pence a month, come home, and and Dad would beat us round the head and neck with a broken bottle if we were lucky.
Well, of course, we had it tough. We used to have to get up out of cardboard box in middle of the night and lick road clean with our tongues. We had to eat half a handful of frozen gravel, work 24 hours a day at mill for 4p every 6 years. And when we got home, my dad would slice us in two with a bread knife.
Right. I had to get up into morning at 10 o'clock at night, half an hour before I went to bed, eat a lump of coal, work 29 hours a day down mill, and pay mill owner for permission to come to work. And when we got home, our dad would strangle us and dance on our grave, singing hallelujah.
Oh, aye. And you tell young folk today that, and you know what? They won't believe you.
Aye, you're right there.